Good evening. Welcome to the Nassau County Board of Commissioners meeting, Monday, July 14th, 5 p.m. Call the meeting to order. Please rise for our invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Irving Gilliard will give our invocation this evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Our Heavenly Father, we honor you, we praise you, we give you all honor, give you all glory. And we're so thankful for this meeting of the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County. And as they go through this agenda, we ask that you just lead and guide them in the direction that would be benefit for the citizens of Nassau County. Continue to bless those that support them through the county manager's office, the county attorney's office, and also their support system as well. And we ask that you continue to look on our first responders as they go through dangers they see and dangers they don't see. Continue to look on our military as they continue to protect our country. These are all blessings we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our nation. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner McCullough.
Here.
Commissioner Gray.
Here.
Commissioner Farmer.
Here.
Commissioner Huffman.
Here.
And absent is Commissioner Martin.
Thank you. County Manager, any expansions or deletions to the agenda this evening?
No, sir, thank you.
Thank you. County Attorney?
I have no expansion. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Consent items. If any board member wishes to move a consent item to new business, please do so now. I didn't have any speaker cards for consent items. Commission, I'm going to move item K. Commissioners, I'd like to move item K to new business, please.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner McCullough.
tab D and tab I, please.
Thank you, Commissioner. Tab D and tab I. Any other moves? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion on the consent agenda with the exception of items D, I, and K.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second that motion.
Motion from Commissioner Gray, second from Commissioner McCullough. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's 4-0, Madam Clerk. New business. Tab D, approve and authorize the chairman to sign work authorization number 04 to contract number CM3481 with DRMP Incorporated for the construction, engineering, and inspection services, the capital improvement project number 0166, intersection improvements at US 301 Crawford Road in the amount of $202,140. Commissioner McCullough?
Yes, sir, Mr. Companion, I'd asked Marshall about this earlier. We all know that 301 and US 1 is a topic you and I frequent a lot, so I just wanted to put this on the record that you could give a clear definition so I could go back to my constituents and explain to them more effectively what was going on currently.
Yes, Commissioner McCullough and Mr. Chairman, if I could, I'll address this one, and I is related.
Yes, sir, Mr.
So tab D before you is to sign the contract with the construction, engineering, and inspection firm DRMP. The improvements that are planned for that location, that intersection of Crawford and 301, is to add turn lanes, increase the distance of some acceleration lanes, and do overall improvements right at that intersection, just because we have increased truck traffic in that area, and to improve safety in there and access for all vehicle types is really the goal of that project. And so tab D is to hire the CEI firm that'll be our eyes and ears out there during construction, and tab I is the extension of the agreement with FDOT so that this project is funded through a state grant. And so that's to keep that project, that funding going till we get to the finish line with it. And I'll answer any questions you may have.
I know it's much needed.
Yes,
Mr.
one
Gray.
question, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Companion, thank you very much for the update. Is it have an acceleration lane and a deceleration lane there, or just an acceleration lane on it?
Yes, sir. Not now. It does not have an acceleration
Yeah,
lane
they're
now. It
gonna
just
build
has, they're going to add an acceleration lane for the traffic that's heading northbound towards the town of Callahan, so that they can pull across the median stage there with a larger vehicle and then safely pull out into traffic. So it's not it'll actually decrease delays as well. So even though it's a safety improvement, it'll actually increase the efficiency of the intersection as well as far as operationally.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Farmer.
Mr. Companion, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's been probably 8 months ago. A hot load of asphalt got turned over right there on that outside, would be northbound or eastbound lane. And they've cut some of it out of there, but all of it hasn't been completely cut out of there. Can you talk to DOT and see if there's any, possibility that maybe they can maybe mill that out of there maybe and put it back as part of some of that? Because it's pretty rough when you go over it with a big truck. And then also, I haven't spoke to you about this issue, but we've spoken about it in the past. I know that there are some improvements that are needed at the hard 90 down there, you know, and hopefully, you know, that we can continue to try to keep that a hot topic, because like I said, that hard 90 out there where you got where the new pavement starts and Crawford intersect, right there is a really bad spot for those big trucks, because they don't see that coming. I know we put some, I think, speed bumps and stuff in there to try to mitigate some of that traffic, but with all that truck traffic going back and forth out there to that landfill, I think we need to make sure and keep that on the front burner, because it continues to be a hot topic. And I know I get a lot of calls about it, and I'm sure that Commissioner McCullough probably does too. And just wanted to make sure that, you know, we put it out there in the public that we're, you know, working towards some sort of equitable solution to try to straighten out that hard 90.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Cavani. Thank you. Commissioner McCullough, or Board, I'll entertain a motion on tab D.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Commissioner McCullough, second from Commissioner Farmer on tab D. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 4-0. Tab I.
I'd like to make a motion to approve tab I, Mr. Chairman.
Second that.
A motion from Commissioner McCullough, second by Commissioner Farmer. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 4-0, Madam Clerk. Tab K, approve a resolution authorizing the use of tourist development tax revenues to host, promote various Fernandina Beach Main Street District programs. Projects beginning July 14, 2025 through January 31st, 2026. Approve and authorize the chairman to sign contract CM 3935, a sponsorship agreement with Fernandina Beach Main Street Incorporated to host and promote various Fernandina Beach Main Street District programs and projects beginning July 14, 2025 through January 31st, 2026, in the amount of $250,000. Mr. Ironman, do you want to speak to tab K?
Perfect, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is one of the sponsorships that's requested through the Tourism Development Council. Basically, it's a very unique situation this year. So the Fernandina Beach Main Street Foundation has been in discussions with the CUB and the county to really kind of take over our holiday lighting program. And that holiday lighting program is very critical for Dickens and other holiday activities downtown. Historically, the county has contracted directly with We Decorate. But to make sure this is much more efficient and effective in how the lighting's done, we thought, you know, through the consultation with CVB as well, is that working with the Downtown Association, having them with all of their partners engaged, when there are issues with the electricity, with the contractors out there, they're already talking to the businesses. And so this will streamline and make many things much more efficient. So it's a unique sponsorship. They have standard sponsorship dollars, but also part of this is they're going to alleviate that contract with We Decorate. And so part of this contract, historically, it's been about $190,000 a year, is for that We Decorate holiday lighting, and they'll be taking that over for the county.
Any questions for Mr. Ironman?
Yes.
Okay, Madam Clerk, for the record, I'll be abstaining from this vote. Madam Clerk, for the record, I'm going to abstain from this vote.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I make a motion to approve tab K.
Okay, I have a motion from Commissioner Gray,
Second.
second by Commissioner McCullough. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes 3-0. Madam Clerk? New business. Any member of the public may address any item under new business at this time. The time limit is 3 minutes each. I do not have any cards for new business. Correct. Okay, tab O. Approve and authorize the chairman to sign resolution relating to prohibiting through truck traffic on South 15th Street, providing for the findings by the Board of County Commissioners, providing for the placement of both no-through trucks and local deliveries only signs on South 15th Street from Park Avenue to Nectarine Street.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Gray, Commissioner Gray.
motion to approve tab O.
Second?
A motion for Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner Farmer. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 4-0. Tab P, consider a resolution closing, vacating, and abandoning an unnamed, unimproved right-of-way north of Richard Drive, Fernandina Beach.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, Mr. Gray.
that's in my district. I'll make a motion to approve tab P.
Second that motion.
A motion for Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner McCullough. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 4-0, thank you. Tab Q, consider a recommendation for the local option fuel tax distribution percentages for the use, distribution percentages based on the historical transportation expenditures for all ordinances 2018-23, 2025-25, 2025-26, as calculated per the fuel tax audit. Mr. Ironman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As part of the extension of the fuel taxes, the state has requested an update to the fuel tax allocation methodology. Based under statutes, there are two methods to do this. One is through interlocal or negotiated agreements with the municipalities and the county. But following on past practice, what we're looking at is the preceding 5 years of transportation transactions. So going through the audited financials for the agencies, that calculation has resulted into what's presented in this report, and it lays out how those funds will be distributed by the state.
Okay. Any additional questions for Mr. Ironman?
Motion to approve tab Q.
Okay.
Second.
Motion for Commissioner Farmer, second by Commissioner Gray. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 4-0. Tab R, approve and authorize the chairman to sign resolution for the SAISS MSBU Beach Renourishment Capital Assessment Area. I didn't have any questions on that.
Okay.
Did you have any questions on that?
A motion to approve tab R.
Okay.
Second.
Motion for Commissioner McCullough, second by Commissioner Gray. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 4-0. Approve and authorize the chairman to sign the preliminary rate resolution for the South Amelia Island Store Stabilization Municipal Service Benefit Unit Beach Renourishment Maintenance Assessment Area.
Motion to approve tab S, Mr. Chairman.
Motion for
Second.
Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner McCullough. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Tab T, approve and authorize the chairman to execute new interlocal agreement with the town of Hilliard to utilize the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate Services.
I make a motion to approve tab T.
Second?
Motion for Commissioner McCullough, second by Commissioner Farmer. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 4-0. And last, tab U, set workshop of the Board of County Commissioners for a presentation and discussion 2025-2026 tentative budget. Staff recommends 28 July at 2:30 PM.
Motion to approve tab U.
Second.
Okay,
Right, we're gonna have our first budget hearing the Monday before the regular meeting?
correct, yeah, 2:30.
Workshop,
I'm just gonna-
really, yes.
Or workshop, yes, okay.
Yeah. Are you checking your?
Yeah,
calendar
just,
on
yeah,
that?
yeah,
Just making sure.
yeah, we're good. I'm
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Motion from Commissioner McCullough, second by Commissioner Gray. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that workshop will be set for 28 July at 2:30 PM. Legislative hearings. Madam Attorney, if you'd please read the procedures.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
The following item is a legislative item that is for tab V, and that is to consider the following: the approval of ordinance 2025-022, revising Land Development Code Article 15, Commercial Neighborhood, Land Development Code Article 16, Commercial General, LDC Article 17, Commercial Intensive, LDC Article 18, Commercial Highway Tourist, Land Development Code Article 20, Industrial Warehouse, LDC Article 21, Industrial Heavy, LDC Article 22, Open Rural, and LDC Article 24, Recreation and Open Space. Approval of Ordinance 2025-18, revising LDC Article 25, Planned Unit Development. These procedures are in place to give all who wish to speak for or against an item the opportunity to do so. Those wishing to speak in favor of or against the item will have an opportunity to speak at the podium. You will have 3 minutes. Please give your name and address. All statements should be addressed to the board and only address the item under consideration. Speakers should not engage in personal attacks on other speakers, staff, or board members. Please begin again by stating your name and address for the record. Please do not be repetitive or restate the information given by previous speakers. Sharing or transferring of time is not allowed. The time will be controlled by our clerks. That is, again, 3 minutes. Any speaker that has documents as part of their presentation should present them to the deputy clerk. They do become a part of the permanent record. The meeting is being recorded, so please, no applause or outburst, as it does distort that recording. The board will then close the public hearing and discuss the item under consideration. They may ask questions of speakers or staff. They will then deliberate and vote on the item. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Open the floor to public discussion on tab V. Staff presentation. Mrs. Coyle, welcome.
Holly Coyle, Economic Resources Manager. So you have before you tonight 2 ordinances of 10 that comprise the update to the county's code of ordinances, including the Land Development Code. These 2 ordinances tonight require 2 public hearings because they changed the actual list of permitted or conditional uses. So you'll hear them for the first time tonight. No action is required tonight. They'll come back to you on the 28th with the other 8 ordinances for consideration of adoption at that time. So the first is revisions to Land Development Code Articles 15, Commercial Neighborhoods, 18, Commercial Highway and Tourist, 20, Industrial Warehouse, 21, Industrial Heavy, 22, Open Rural, and 24, Recreation and Open Space. For Article 15, we are adding small batch printing press to the list of conditional uses. This is something that was requested of us from someone who's wanting to do a small batch printing press. We didn't have that as a use, so we are adding the definition of that in Article 32 and adding it as a use here in commercial neighborhood. For commercial highway and tourist, we're removing self-storage facilities, which are mini warehouses, from the list of permitted uses in CHT. CHT is really intended to provide service-oriented uses, tourist accommodations. This is the area at 295. And it's really intended for convenience stores, gas stations, hotels, restaurants, so that people, as they're traveling, can hop off, get gas, get a bite to eat, stay in a room before they resume their travels. In Article 20, Industrial Warehouse, we are removing RV and boat storage facilities from the list of permitted uses. We're adding that to the list of conditional uses along with mini warehouse facilities for both IW and IH. As you know, industrial zoning districts are intended for job-generating uses. These do not create new jobs. Additionally, with the Live Local Act, some of those industrial lands are being taken up or can be taken up by residential development, so we need to be proactive in trying to preserve as much of that industrial land as we can. For LDC Article 22, Open Rural, we're deleting solar farms from the list of conditional uses and adding it to the list of permitted uses, consistent with the statutory requirements. And then for Article 24, Rec and Open Space, we're adding the sale of alcoholic beverages to the list of conditional uses so that if somebody with that zoning district wants to hold an event, they would be able to do so with a conditional use. These changes are consistent with Objective FL10, Policy FL10.05. They do conform with Florida statutes and the goals, objectives and policies of the comp plan. They do not conflict with the Land Development Code, Code of Ordinances, or other county regulatory documents. Staff recommends approval, and on June 3rd, the Planning and Zoning Board recommended approval with a 5-0 vote. I'm happy to answer any questions on this ordinance, but again, you will not act on it tonight.
Any questions for Ms. Coyle? Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I'll go to the next one. So this is these are revisions to the Land Development Code Article 25, which is planned unit development. And again, all of these ordinances, the applicant is the planning department, and they are applicable countywide. I'm only going to hit the highlights. So there have been a number of changes that are non-substantive that deal with changes to department names, position titles, reviewing authorities. So I'll just go through the list of the big changes. So we are clarifying the intent of the PUD zoning district. We are establishing overarching standards of review. You might know that when we do a PUD rezoning, we always say it needs to have a public purpose. What does that mean? It's very confusing for people. So we've established a set of overarching standards of review that really focus on unique design standards. So it's not intended to be used as a blanket variance, which if somebody has RS2 zoning and they want to reduce the lot width or the lot area and they say, oh, I'll just do a PUD for that, that's not really what it's intended for. It's really intended to be used to accommodate those superior design standards. It also reduces the minimum PUD site area requirement from 10 acres to 5 acres, and additionally can go less than 5 acres if it's an infill site. We are proposing to establish mailed notice requirements from the developer to all properties within 500 feet of the property boundary for which a PUD is proposed. That mailed notice would have the developer information or the applicant information, the contact for those property owners to contact if they want a community meeting or if they have questions about the proposed development. It revises the PUD procedures to require that if phased, it would include a phasing schedule and a delivery of those special conditions. It stipulates that failure to submit an SEP within 1 year of the PUD approval and failure to meet substantial construction will result in termination of the PUD. That is consistent statewide. It increases the timeframe for submittal of a PUD application and the PDP from 45 days to 120 days prior to the PZB meeting at which it will be heard. That is consistent with the statutory requirement for holding that public hearing as well. And then it revises PUD review criteria to include avoidance of urban sprawl, minimization of disturbance to environmentally sensitive lands. We look for those things today, but we don't require them, so we wanted to codify that as well. It further defines the list of PDP submittal requirements. As we've talked about, we are deleting that FDP requirement and that approval procedure. When a PUD comes to you, you first approve the PUD rezoning, and then the applicant comes back, submits an FDP to the Planning and Zoning Board and to the Board of County Commissioners for approval. That's a long time that we're deleting from this requirement. Time to market is super important for these people, so we are increasing that time for them, or decreasing the time for approval for them. And so on the front end, we're adding to those PDP submittal requirements. We had one further revision that we made after the Planning and Zoning Board meeting. Our intent was because we do this today, we require architectural renderings for all types of uses in a PUD. So we're just clarifying that we will continue to require those for any type of use within a PUD. These changes are consistent with Objective FL10, Policy FL 10.05, again, consistent with state statutes, the Comp Plan, Land Development Code, Code of Ordinances. We recommend approval, and the Planning and Zoning Board recommended approval with a 5-0 vote. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Ms. Coyle, I do have a couple of questions. Can we go back a couple of slides to
Yep.
Article 25? Yeah, thanks. Clarify intent of PUD zoning concerning preservation of open spaces. The clarification on that is that if there's a designation of open space within a PUD, the changes won't take place after the PUD. Once the PUD is approved, that those spaces will be those spaces, and I'll tie this into minimization of disturbance of environmentally sensitive lands. For example, in a case hypothetically where someone has wetland within that PUD, but then they, after design, would go back and later mitigate the wetland through, say, St. John's or whatever, and then they try to change within that PUD. This will prevent, the way I'm reading this, is that intended to prevent those kind of changes, or?
So the overarching standards of review, we're adding to say these are the things that we want you to address when you submit your PUD. So right now, it's not arbitrary, but it's kind of, we do a lot of negotiating. This makes it clearer about what we're looking for. So it's easier for us, it's easier for the applicant, they know now what we're looking for. We're looking for those provision of recreation areas, extra preservation of open space. So in that section, that's what we want them to address. In the other section, that's the criteria that we review, that staff reviews when they look at a PUD rezoning. They'll look at these overarching standards for review, and then they look at the rezoning criteria as well, which talks about minimizing disturbance.
Okay, and then the provisions for changing the plat within a PUD would still remain the same anyway,
Yes.
as are currently the
Yes.
law as it stands now anyway.
Yes, correct.
Thanks for the clarification, I appreciate that discussion.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Okay. I do have one public speaker card on this. Mr. Greg Montevita, did you still have a comment? You're good? Waiving approval. All right, thank you very much, sir. Okay, I'm going to close the floor for public discussion. Any board deliberation, or I will entertain a motion on tab V.
Through the chair. Yes, I do want to modify the motion before you. At the end of that, just say, and place on second reading. Okay, so
Got it.
we are asking for a motion
Correct.
on whether to approve or deny, and place on second reading. It will be read again.
Okay, so modification of the reading for clarity will end with for second reading.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Gray,
I'll make a motion to approve with the modification of approval on second reading.
I have a motion from Commissioner Gray,
Second.
second from Commissioner McCullough. Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Commissioner McCullough,
Yes.
Commissioner Gray,
Yes.
Commissioner Farmer,
Yes.
and Chair Huffman.
Yes.
That's 4 ayes, 0 nays.
Okay. Quasi judicial hearings. Madam Attorney, if you please read the procedures for quasi judicial hearings.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Florida statutes and the courts of Florida require that the following items be heard as quasi-judicial. Those are tab W, to consider and approve FD 24-003, the FDP for Phase 1B, Unit 12 of the Tributary PUD, 222 residential units, which includes 50 affordable townhouse units, 22 market-rate townhouse units, and 150 single-family units, and associated infrastructure. Application filed by England, Timms, and Miller, agent on behalf of Three Rivers Developers LLC in District 5. Tab X, to consider and approve FD 24-004, the FDP for Phase 1B, Unit 17 of the Tributary PUD, 123 residential units, which includes 1 single-family unit and 122 duplex units, and associated roadways and infrastructure. Application filed by Dominion Engineering Group, Inc., agent on behalf of Three Rivers Developers LLC in District 5. A quasi-judicial hearing by state and case law is different than a regular hearing. It is less formal than a court hearing, but similar in its procedure and evidence matters. Applicants have the burden of demonstrating through competent and substantial evidence that his or her application is consistent with the following requirements. For tab W, that is Land Development Code Section 5.07C2, Site Development Plan Review Submission Requirements, Land Development Code Section 25.05F, Planned Unit Development, PUD Procedures, PUD Written Conditions in Ordinance 2025-006, and the PUD Preliminary Development Plan in Ordinance 2025-006. For tab X, that is Land Development Code Section 5.07C2, Site Development Plan Review Submission Requirements, Land Development Code Section 2505F, Planned Unit Development, PUD Procedures, PUD Written Conditions in Ordinance 2025-006, and the Preliminary Development Plan in Ordinance 2025-006. The applicant is entitled to be represented by counsel. If they desire a continuance to do so, they would have to make that request of this board. It is within your discretion to grant or deny. The hearing procedures will be as follows. Staff will be sworn. They will describe the applicant's request. They will have 10 minutes for presentation. The applicant may waive their presentation and rely on staff comments. If they do waive that presentation, they retain the right to rebut any testimony against their application. Do the applicants this evening wish to waive their presentation in favor of staff comments?
You, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Mike Mullen here on behalf of the applicants for W and X, and we waive our presentation, stand on staff's comments, and believe there is competent substantial evidence to support both.
Mullin.
Having waived that presentation, public participants for and against the application will be sworn in. They will have 3 minutes each to provide any testimony and present evidence to the board. Extensions of time may only be granted through the chair. Sharing or transferring of time is not allowed. Public participants presenting evidence must give that evidence at the podium, and any documents or photographs must be given to the deputy clerks. They do become a part of the official record. As a quasi-judicial hearing, large numbers of individuals for or against an item will not be considered. The applicant or representative will then have a maximum of 10 minutes for any cross-exam or rebuttal. Staff will have 5 minutes to provide final comments. The board will then close the public hearing and discuss the item. They may ask questions of applicant, staff, or witnesses for or against the application. Any motion of the board should include whether the board member finds competent substantial evidence in the record and/or testimony received to support your decision to approve or deny the item. Again, the meeting's being recorded, so please no applause, outburst, or talking. If anyone has any questions regarding these procedures, could you ask them at this time? And seeing none, Mr. Chair, you may continue.
Thank you, Madam Attorney. Ex parte disclosures for tab W. Ex parte disclosures include emails, letters, site visits, or other forms of communications. Disclosures shall include who the communication was with, the nature of the communication, and should state the substance of the communication. Commissioner McCullough.
I have none.
Commissioner Gray? None. Commissioner Farmer?
None.
And I have none as well. Madam Clerk, if you please identify the documents for tab W.
This is for application FD 24-003, Planning and Zoning Board Staff Report, 4 pages, Supplemental Staff Report, 4 pages, Final Development Plan, 10 pages, Monitoring Report for Tributary Plan Unit Development Interim, 4 pages, Staff PowerPoint Presentation, 13 pages, and Planning and Zoning Board Motion Recommendation, 1 page.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to accept those documents.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner McCullough, second by Commissioner Farmer. All in favor?
Aye.
4-0. I'll open the public hearing for tab W. Staff presentation, 10 minutes.
Do you swear affirm testimony in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and department.
Adam Molson, Planning Department. Here we go. Full screen. And full screen mode. Okay, good evening. Adam Olson, Planner 2 with the Planning Department, and I'll be giving staff presentation for tab W, for which the request and his approval of a final development plan for Unit 12 of a tributary PUD. The applicant owner is Three Rivers Developers LLC, agent England, Timms and Miller, and the City Commission District 5. So here we just have an overall, map for the tributary development. And if we zoom in closer, Unit 12 will have an entrance off of Edwards Road. And it's, as you can see from the map, proposed new roadway through tributary, which will connect to some of the internal roads and connect over to Edwards Road. The tributary development order, covers an area of 1,546 acres and would approve in total 3,200 residential dwelling units, as well as additional square footage for retail space, industrial space, office space, and 300 boat storage slips. This is an overview of the FDP for Unit 12, which was approved by the Development Review Committee on May 27th. And you should also see this in the attachments for the item. The FDP for Unit 12 covers approximately 127 acres, for which there are 220 residential units, which includes 50 affordable townhouse units, 22 market rate townhouse units, and 150 single-family units. In association with the residential units, the project would also install stormwater ponds, new roadways, and sidewalks and trails. If you can see the cursor, where I'm highlighting with the cursor, this is where the 50 affordable townhome units will go. So kind of central here. And then along Sweetwood Cove, these will be single-family homes. which connect over to Edwards Road. The preliminary development plan for Tributary was recently amended in April 2025 through their recent comp plan and PUD amendments. And so as we review this FDP, we ensure that it matched the latest version of the PDP as far as the use and layouts of the roads, and staff finds that Unit 12 will conform to the approved PDP. Again, there are other conditions as part of the Tributary Development Order, which staff also reviewed, the various conditions that are part of the DRI and the PUD, and we found that this FDP meets all required conditions. And one thing to draw special attention to are the 50 affordable townhouse units, because those are not proposed in all units of Tributary, but that is a special condition of the DRI, Special Condition 26, and we find that these 50 affordable townhouse units should meet that special condition of the DRI. Again, these affordable units will be townhouse units, and they were clustered in the location that I showed. These are being constructed within or during Phase 1 of Tributary, which is one of the requirements of the DRI condition. There'll be 4 sale units, so they're not for rent, but they'll be for sale, and they're priced for moderate income buyers as defined in the development order. And again, we find that these follow the Condition 26 of the DRI. So in conclusion, staff finds that the proposed FDP FD 2403 is consistent with the requirements for an FDP pursuant to Land Development Code Section 5.07C2 and Land Development Code Section 25.05F. The proposed FDP FD 2403 is consistent with the adopted and amended preliminary development plan and with the conditions of the Tributary PUD, which is last amended in ordinance 2025-006. Therefore, staff recommends approval of application FD 24-003, a final development plan for Tributary PUD Unit 12. And lastly, at their meeting on June 17th, the PZB recommended approval of this FDP application. And that concludes the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. I have no other public comment cards for tab W. Mr. Mullen, I assume that you're okay with the presentation? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, thank you. Any cross-examination or questions?
None, sir.
None, okay, great. Okay. Close the hearing for tab W. Board deliberations, or I will entertain a motion for approval or denial.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion.
Mr. Farmer.
Tab W. Based upon the record, evidence, and testimony received, I find that there is competent and substantial evidence pursuant to sections 5.07, subsection C2, and 25.05, subsection F of the Land Development Code and ordinances 2006-68, 2019-03, 2021-16, and 2025-006, and therefore my motion is to approve FD 24-003.
Second that motion.
Motion for Commissioner Farmer, second by Commissioner McCullough. Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Commissioner McCullough,
Yes.
Commissioner Farmer,
Yes.
Commissioner Gray,
Yes.
and Chair Huffman.
Yes.
That's 4 ayes, 0 nays.
Tab X, consider and approve FD 24-004 for the FTP for Phase 1 Bravo, Unit 17 of Tributary PUD, 123 residential units, which includes 1 single-family home and 122 duplex units, associated roadways and infrastructure. Application filed by Dominion Engineering Group Incorporated, agent on behalf of Three Rivers Developers LLC, owner in District 5. Ex parte disclosures for tab X, including emails, letters, site visits, and other forms of communications. Commissioner McCullough?
I have none.
Commissioner Gray?
None.
Commissioner Farmer?
None.
And I have none as well. Madam Clerk, if you please identify the documents for presentation in tab X.
Application FD 24-004, Planning and Zoning Board Staff Report, 4 pages, Supplemental Staff Report, 4 pages, Final Development Plan, 9 pages, Monitoring Report for Tributary Planned Unit Development Interim, 4 pages, Staff PowerPoint Presentation, 12 pages, and Planning and Zoning Board Motion and Recommendation, 1 page.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll open the floor to public hearing for tab X.
I'm
Chair.
sorry, Mr. Chair, could We get a motion to accept
I'm
this.
sorry, thank you for, I got ahead of myself. I'll
Motion to-
entertain a motion to accept the documents for tab X.
So moved.
I have a motion from Commissioner McCullough, a second by Commissioner Gray. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We'll accept the documents for tab X. Thank you. Staff presentation for tab X.
Escape here. There we go. Okay. Adam Olson, Planner 2 with the Planning Department, and here we have tab X, which is requesting approval of final development plan for Phase 1B, Unit 17 of a tributary PUD. Applicant is Three Rivers Developers LLC. Agent is Dominion Engineering Group, and this is also in Commission District 5. Again, this Unit 17 is within the greater tributary PUD development, and Unit 17 is close to State Road 200, and also near Police Lodge Road. Again, Unit 17 is a portion of the tributary development, which covers 1,500 acres, and also has allowances for 3,200 residential dwelling units and various retail and industrial space. So the final development plan for Unit 17 was approved by the Development Review Committee on May 27th. And the final development plan for Unit 17 would allow for 123 residential units, which includes one single-family lot, as well as 122 duplex units. And again, in association with the units, you'll have new stormwater ponds, roadways, and open space areas. So here's the final development plan for Unit 17. The roadways will essentially form a loop through Unit 17 and connect to the existing pondside lane, which is an adjacent Unit 5. And again, these are primarily duplex lots. Again, staff reviewed the recently amended preliminary development plan for tributary, which is referred to as Map Series H, and we find that Unit 17 aligns with, the requirements which are shown in the PDP for tributary. And staff also reviewed the various conditions of the tributary development order from the DRI and PUD, and we find that this final development plan is consistent with the various conditions. So in conclusion, proposed final development plan FD 2404 has been reviewed by county staff and is found to be consistent with the requirements for an FTP pursuant to Land Development Code Section 5.07C2 and LDC Section 25.05F. Proposed FDP FD 2404 is consistent with the adopted and amended PDP and with the conditions of a tributary PUD development order, which is last amended in ordinance 2025-006. Therefore, staff recommends approval of application FD 24-004, the FDP for tributary Unit 17, as well as at their meeting on June 17th, the PZB recommended approval of this final development plan application with a 7-0 vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mullen, any additional comment on tab X, sir?
No, sir, not unless you have any questions.
Thank you, sir. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm going to close the public hearing for tab X. Board deliberations, or I'll entertain a motion for approval or denial of FTP 24-004.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion.
Mr. Farmer.
Based on the record evidence and testimony received, I find that there is competent and substantial evidence pursuant to sections 5.07, subsection C, subsection 2, and 25.05 subsection F of the Land Development Code and ordinances 2006-68, 2019-03, 2021-16, and 2025-006. And therefore, my motion is to approve FD 24-004.
A motion from Commissioner Farmer,
Second.
second by Commissioner McCullough. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Gray,
Yes.
Commissioner McCullough,
Yes.
Commissioner Farmer.
Yes.
And Chair Hutman.
Yes.
That's 4 ayes, 0 nays.
Informational items, tab Y is the newsletter for May of 2025 has been released and is on the street. The highlight article there is the opening of Station 10, Fire Station 10 out there by Tributary, which is great news for Nassau County. General public comment. Comments can be for items under the authority of the Board of County Commissioners, and the time limit is 3 minutes. Ms. Nicole Crease. I hope I pronounced your last name right, Nicole. I apologize.
Cressy.
Cressy, thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Nicole Cressy, 2408 First Avenue, Fernandina Beach, Florida. Thank you, Board, for hearing us. I'm here on behalf of our community to address an issue that has been raised on multiple occasions regarding the closures of the Publix grocery store in Fernandina Beach, as well as the transition from the Winn-Dixie to an Aldi, which will result in sustained and consistent closures of grocery stores in Fernandina Beach. This, for many residents, will be an inconvenience, but there is a significant portion of our community that will be very adversely affected. These are vulnerable populations, disadvantaged populations, including elderly, persons with disabilities, youth, and lower-income families who are going to consistently be without access to food in a way that will impact their quality of life. I think that there is an opportunity for the county commissioners as well as the city commissioners or county or city employees to reach out and advocate with the affected businesses so that they can provide alternate solutions. Those can be reductions of membership rates for food delivery. They can also be coordination with the Council on Aging and JTA for assisted opportunities with transportation. My understanding is that right now the public transportation is virtually non-existent. It has been reduced to address only doctor's visits for elderly through the Council on Aging. There could be an opportunity to do weekly grocery runs. There could also be advocacy, again, with Walmart, with Kroger and Harris Teeter, or with Aldi to provide mobile food units. Potentially, they can have storage facilities for residents to pick up that can be housed potentially with the Walmart on the island, maybe at the PEC Center, the MLK Center. These facilities do have refrigerated units that they could put in, and the city could or county could facilitate that access, potentially also at the post office on Sadler. I do think that this is a consistent negative impact to a number of residents in our community, and there is an opportunity for the county and the city to advocate for solutions that can be done at little to no cost, and present an opportunity to improve business services in the community and address community needs. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Gail Kirsten?
Good evening. My name's Gail Kirsten, 85379 Fall River Parkway. I was asked to present this comment per Sheila Kochi. She couldn't attend tonight and asked me to present it for her. So pretty much it's just what Nicole was saying, and I'll reiterate a little bit. So Sheila Kochi, she lives at 1553 Indigo Street, Fernandina. And she said, I'd like to address the recent closures of the two island grocery stores and the impact it's had on the community. It's the closure of Publix for an 18-month remodel and the Winn-Dixie changing into the Aldi has left many residents facing challenges in accessing the essential groceries, particularly those who may not have transportation to travel to stores off the island. In addition to the obstacles and access to a store, we must also consider the rising cost of groceries and varying price points offered by different stores. For many residents, finding affordable options for their grocery needs is a significant concern, especially when they're limited to a few remaining stores on the island. The closure of Publix in Winn-Dixie has not only disrupted convenience, but also impacted the ability of residents to access groceries at competitive prices. I come before you today with a suggestion that could help alleviate these challenges. Some grocery providers like Super Walmart, Kroger, owner of Harris Teeter, offer online delivery services for an annual fee. Walmart's delivery makes same-day deliveries, and Kroger's offering next-day service. Residents who are affected by the closures could have their groceries delivered directly to their homes, ensuring they have access to the essentials they need without burden of traveling long distances. Access to multiple services would also allow flexibility for competitive shopping as well. I have proposed a solution that would require assistance from the board or county staff that suggest a representative from the county reach out to Walmart and Kroger and regional operations to explore the possibility of waiving the annual fees for the affected individuals in Fernandina for a limited time through these renovations. This initiative would not only benefit residents by providing a convenient and accessible grocery shopping option, but also allowing any remaining resources to be focused on assisting those who may not use online services or have transportation. Implementing online delivery services would be mutually beneficial for Kroger, as it may pave the way for the potential expansion into Nassau County Market in the future.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Suzanne Sapp? Welcome.
Hello. So, good evening, Commissioners. My name is Suzanne Sapp, and I live at 4730 West Wind Court in Fernandina in the county. I'm here to talk about the temporary closure of both Publix and Winn-Dixie on Amelia Island. We understand that they're temporary, and we also understand that these are private businesses. But the crisis still remains for the people who rely on those stores for food. The closures disproportionately affect seniors, low-income families, and people with disabilities who cannot drive or travel off-island. Many residents rely on walking, biking, or short local drives and now have no nearby store with affordable fresh food options. Walmart on the island is not a sufficient substitute. It lacks fresh produce, meats, and other basic healthy grocery options. This is not just about convenience, it's about access and equity. People are being forced to make difficult choices. Go without, pay more, or rely on others. This creates a food access gap that could have serious implications for public health, especially for people managing chronic conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure who rely on healthy food. It raises equity concerns. Those with money and mobility, they can make it work, and others cannot. When healthy food becomes hard to access, public health suffers. We know the risk of food insecurity are real. Poor nutrition leads to increased rates of chronic disease and emergency health care cost. We cannot allow our community to go months without proper access to groceries. This is a matter of dignity, health, and quality of life. We ask the County Commission to treat this as an urgent issue and take immediate action to mitigate the impact. We suggest partnering with local nonprofit or local organizations to provide grocery delivery, considering the option of providing transportation to support a temporary shuttle service or transit to support for grocery trips off island, pop-up markets or produce trucks to serve island neighborhoods, exploring interim solutions to help bridge the gap while these stores are closed. Can we partner with food delivery services, as others have said? What can we do to increase awareness of any existing programs? This situation highlights the need for a resiliency, including contingency strategies for future disruptions, whether from renovations, supply chain issues, or storms. We ask the Commission to act quickly to help every resident of Amelia Island, regardless of age, income, or mobility, to have access to healthy, affordable food during this transition period. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Stacy Brown Prelue? Help me out.
Prelude.
Thank you, ma'am. Mrs. Prelude, thank you, welcome.
Yes. Okay, so my name is Stacy Prelude, and I, again, also wanted to talk about the food desert that is being created on Amelia Island. We've already talked about some potential solutions, but I also wanted to go back and revisit some of the responses that I've received over the past 2 months in looking into this issue for our community. In reaching out to our U.S. Congressman Bean, I was directly told via email that it was not his problem and that I needed to contact local officials. I have contacted the city of Fernandina Beach, and this was discussed in the commissioners' meeting on July the 1st. They voted 5-0 to offer no type of transportation assistance to residents being directly impacted by the lack of access to fresh food, medicines, and household goods. They also said that residents should just be able to order their groceries online or go to Harris Teeter. I'm going to explain to you why those are not viable options for some of our most vulnerable neighbors. Go to Walmart, Dollar Tree, Dollar General. Again, they have limited access to fresh produce, meat items, and seafood. Harris Teeter. The distance between the Winn-Dixie and Fernandina Beach and Harris Teeter is 5 to 6 miles, depending on route. The distance from Winn-Dixie and Fernandina to the Winn-Dixie and Yulee is 6 miles. The distance from Winn-Dixie to Super Walmart and Yulee is 5 miles. That is a huge distance for someone that does not have adequate transportation and funding in order to get to those locations. Ordering groceries online. While it is a convenience item, it does increase the cost for groceries for people that are already struggling to make ends meet. For people that are working paycheck to paycheck, they may not be able to afford the expected 10%, the 10 to 20% markup in each grocery item that they purchase. The convenience fees and/or tips for drivers that will drive up their expected food cost for delivery at home upwards of 15% per order. There's also people that don't have access to the internet, they don't have computers, they don't have basic technology in order to use to access things to order online, and some people don't have bank accounts, credit cards, and/or debit cards in order to do this. I am requesting that the city and the county look into expanding the transportation services offered by Nassau Transit. Prior to October 2024, this transportation service did assist people with getting to food pantries, grocery stores, in addition to medical appointments. That has been severely reduced since the changing of the contract in October to medical appointments only. I have compiled some information that I would like to submit to the board that would further explain the negative impacts to our community, as well as an action plan for the community to address this food desert.
Thank you, ma'am.
And that's for each one of them.
Ms. Jacqueline Osborne?
Good evening, Jackie Osborne, Post Office Box 16796, Fernandina Beach, Florida. I am a volunteer at the animal shelter here in Nassau County, and the animal shelter recently went down to Jacksonville to the fairgrounds and participated in a expo. These are pictures of various people and the animals that were impacted there. These are the dogs. These are kitty cats. Meow, meow. Everybody needs a kitty cat. This young man took a cat home with him. He was excited. Kitty was excited. This particular picture shows how many cats have left already. Midday on Saturday, the count was 255 that had been adopted. This is the very end of Sunday, where there were very, very few kittens. And this is, again, some people taking some of our babies home with them, and they were excited. Again, the dogs. Y'all are probably wondering what these things are, the little Frisbee things. They put peanut butter in them, and the dogs will come and lick on it. Again, we're at 255. Here's another one with somebody and a new dog, and they're beside themselves. This gentleman, these two young men took home a cat. And again, these are part of the volunteers and what have you. The number there was 510. That was the end of the thing. 510 animals left the fairgrounds that afternoon. I believe 89 was the count that left Nassau County, that were Nassau County animals. It was a great event. The animal shelter people worked so hard to put that together. It's not real simple of just throw the animals in the truck, let's take them down to Jacksonville. It takes an enormous amount of planning to do it, and all the people worked very, very hard. This is when there were only 3 kitties that were left, and this is Beach, and Beach was adopted by a young lady. Again, we're at numbers 487. I left my notes at home, y'all, please forgive me. And this is the last kitty that went home, and that cleaned out all the kittens. Right now, I'll give you the numbers for the animal shelter, since we're done looking at the pictures. And right now, I have the wrong person on there. It's just been that kind of a day, folks. There are at least 70 dogs at the animal shelter, and there's over 120 cats. The majority of these cats are, in fact, kittens. It is kitten season, and mama cats have been very, very busy, being very, very prolific with their babies. And so if you need a kitten, the prices are very reasonable. The price is still $9 for an adult cat, $25 for a little kitten. And remember, these cats have got all of their shots. They've been not ticketed, but chipped, and they're precious. They're just too wonderful to imagine. I have 2 little female kitties, and they're priceless, and I wouldn't do any other way. I've fostered over 200 cats. But please go to the shelter and grab a kitty, and they'd love to help you out with that. Thank you very much, and I promise to have notes next time.
Thank you, Jackie. County Manager, any additional business for this evening's meeting?
No, sir, thank you.
County Attorney, any additional items?
I have no further items. Thank you, sir.
Commissioner comments? We'll start tonight with Commissioner Farmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
I just have one short one. It's kind of testament, I guess, to who we are as a community. I had a lady reach out to me from Hilliard that said, hey, me and my husband were having some real difficulties, and, you could tell she was somewhat a little bit reserved on wanting to share this information with me, like it was kind of embarrassing. And she says, me and my husband, we don't have anybody to help us. We got a daughter that takes her dad back into the cancer treatments, but we don't have the money to fix our car's transmission. And what can you do to help us? You've always told us, if you can help, we'll give you a call, kind of thing. And I usually end my conversations with people that way. If I can help you, let me know. Well, she let me know. And I thought, man, I got to stop and think about this a little bit, because, I don't have another car that I could just give them. So anyway, I thought about it over the weekend, made a few phone calls, talked to some people, and they said, hey, your friend loop is so big, if you just make a soft, subtle post that kind of defines what the needs are, I think you're going to see people really rally around you. So I did that, and I don't know, I probably received at least 40 or 50 calls of people that wanted to put their money forward to help these people. And we took their car today at no charge. The local towing, one of the local towing operators offered to tow it all the way to San Jose Boulevard today for free. They got over to Enterprise Rent-A-Car and were able to rent a car at a discounted rate. The state representative, Dean Black, reached out to me. He actually owns some Amco transmissions in town, so he's a part of this. And I just wanted to say, man, thank you. I mean, it's just what a testament to where we live. To be able to, somebody call you up with a real issue like this, and we put it all together, and then we got their cars on the rack, and hopefully they'll have it back by the end of the week, and it'll all be done at no cost to these people. So, I can't fix the world, I can't help everybody, but, this lady, when she called me, I could tell that she was very sincere about it. Her husband's a Navy veteran, and he's going through cancer treatment. So I just want to say thank you to everybody out there that reached out to me, that offered to help. And, it's Nassau County and Nassau County strong. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Farmer. Mr. Gray?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On Wednesday, June 25th, I had the honor, along with 2 other fellow commissioners, to attend to celebrate the groundbreaking ceremony at our new Wildlife Commerce Industrial Park out here at State Road 200. And it's exciting to see that there'll be 2 spec warehouses built and constructed by Patillo Construction Company. They build some of the logistics, parts distribution centers, warehouse, high cube warehouse. One of the largest builders in the United States here, have places in many states. And it's going to provide a lot of jobs and opportunities for our children that live and reside here in Nassau County. So that's a big shot in the arm there for Nassau County. We had Senator Clay Yarborough in attendance. We had House Representative Dean Black in attendance. We had a lot of dignitaries there. It was a big turnout. It was amazing. Nassau County Economic Development Board, I'm sure I'm leaving a lot of people out. But it was a huge, successful, long-awaited event. You know, we've seen the ground was been clear for a while. But now they're starting the vertical construction out there, so that was a wonderful thing. That's all I have today, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Commissioner McCullough?
I have none.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr.
thanks.
Chapman.
Mr. Gray, as a follow-up to your comment, I was speaking with an old friend recently. He lives up in Pennsylvania. He said his son just took over as CEO of like a Sub-Zero or dry ice manufacturing facility in Atlanta, and I told him he was located in the wrong place, and then I would need him to move down here to Nassau County and get into some of that commercial space, so.
That's right.
We'll
There you
see.
go.
I hope I get an email back from him saying
Yeah.
he'll at least come talk to our economic development folks.
Fantastic.
All right, I have nothing else for this evening. Thank you all.